Om. Om.
ॐ शुक्लांबरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम् यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः।
Bhagavad Gita, chapter 14, verse 19. We have already seen. Read 19.
नान्यं गुणेभ्यः कर्तारं यदा द्रष्टानुपश्यति गुणेभ्यश्च परं वेत्ति मद्भावं सोऽधिगच्छति।
When the drashta, jnani, sees that all karmas are accomplished at the level of gunas. What is meant by guna is physical body, indriyas, prana, mana, buddhi, that is ahankar. The products of gunas in terms of upadhis. When this being so, me, the Chaitanya, pure awareness principle, Atma Sarupa, Brahma Sarupa, the Chit Tattva, sentience principle in and through us all, one and the same. This being totally free from upadhis, the embodiment, cannot do any karma. The rule is one who does the karma is answerable to karma phalas. We suffer the samsara in terms of transmigration on account of karma phala because we identify with the gunas. Again, gunas in the sense, the embodiment, indriyas, mind, etc. Why so? Why this mistake has taken place? Of course, after exposure to so much of Vedanta, you may say ignorance. Ignorance of our Sarupa. True. That is at the final level. But at the practical level, our interest is in the Vishayas, sense objects and sense pleasures, for which we have to interact with the Vishayas and the world. World means comprising Vishayas. To interact, an abode is necessary, that is physical body. An instrument is necessary, that is mind, including the Indriyas. So, because our interaction, we want to derive something good, not good, which is liked by us from these Vishayas. And we would like to get away from which is disliked by us. This pursuit, that is, confirms two mistakes on our part. One is the wrong notion that the body is I. The second is Vishayas, sense objects, the world, Drishya Jagat, is real. As a result, mind is always preoccupied in the Vishayas, it is extrovert. We get denied of our Swarupa, that is Paramananda Swarupa, free from all these gunas, free from body, indriyas, pranas, and entire adhyastha jagat. We get different. Now here is a jnani who, having conducted the Atma Vichar, he had dissected Chaitanya from the gunas, like Kshira Nira Nyaya, like a swan separating the milk from the water. That's what they say. And this jnani's attention is focused on Chaitanya and Chaitanya alone, to the exclusion of the products, joy, sorrows presented by the gunas. Therefore, this is what is called a Gunebhya Param Veti. The principal Chaitanya, superior, independent, all pervasive than the gunas, means all these Vishayas and the embodiment. That person discovers me, gains me, saha madbhavam adhigacchati. He gains me means that is what his Swarupa is. So this being the case, you see, Vedanta is never tired of repeating the role of Vairagya, wherein the extrovert mind has to be turned introvert. This is exactly where a mumukshu who is not totally mature enough, some desire to know is there, but still total vairagya is not there. He finds it difficult. How come? Vishayas are capable of giving us joy. That is the first and foremost wrong conclusion. They cannot. And if at all they appear to be so giving you joy, it is your Swarupa, that is Ananda, which appears as though you got through the Vishaya. It is your error. So that in the case, gunas and effects of gunas including the embodiment, Indriya, Antakarana, and Nama Rupatmaka Drishya Jagat, is superimposed on Chaitanya Atma. This Jnani dissects and focuses attention on Chaitanya to the exclusion of the gunas and his karya in terms of embodiments, etc. Let us see now, continue. Such a person gains me, means Nidigva Vansada Paramatma Swarup. Bhasya read Katham Adhigacchati.
कथम
Katham Adhigacchati.
कथम अधिगच्छति इति उच्यते गुणानिति.
Katham, add there, Madbhavam. Madbhavam Swadhigacchati was told. He discovers my Swarupa. How does he? Katham Madbhavam. How a Jnani discovers oneself to be nothing but Paramatma Swarupa. Adhigacchati means prapnoti. How does he get it? Iti shankayam. If such doubt comes, or if such query is put forth, uchyate. Here is the answer given by Bhagavan Sri Krishna in the verse beginning with Gunaniti. Read the verse 20.
गुणानेतानतीत्यत्रीन् देहि देह समुद्भवान् जन्म मृत्युजरा दुःखैः विमुक्तोऽमृतमश्नुते.
Dehi Deha Samudbhavan Etan Tri Gunan Atitya Janma Mrityu Jara Dukkhai Vimukta add son. Vimukta add son. Amrutam Ashnute. Amrutam Ashnute. Dehi. Dehi means Jiva or Dehavan Atma. What do you mean the Dehavan Atma? Atma available in the body with identification with that and considering oneself to be samsari jiva. The jiva, the entity, a given entity. Deha samudvan etan gunan trin gunan atitya. Atitya, having crossed over, means having got rid of this adhyasa, of this identification with the body, etc., as I, which are superimposed on Chaitanya Rupa Atma, which is free from all these gunas, the upadhis. So, what are the gunas? Deha samudbhava. Samudbhava means the entity from which it is born in the sense cause. Deha samudbhava means the cause of the deha. Jnani, having crossed over in the sense, having got rid of the identification with the three gunas in terms of their effects, which are the cause of this deha, etc. How many gunas? Three gunas. Sattva guna, Rajoguna, Tamaguna in terms of their product. Atitya. So having crossed over, having discovered oneself to be independent of all these, then what happens? He gets freed and gets the moksha. Freedom from what? Vimuktaha, having got freed. Vimuktaha, having got freed from what? Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Dukkhai. So having got freed from birth, death, old age, and sorrow. Janma, Mrityu, Jara are specifically told because the sorrow is at the peak in these three stages. Then why dukkha is separately told? Janma is dukkha, mrityu is dukkha, jara, old age is dukkha. Then why separate dukkha? Other than this, there are also causes of sorrow, like diseases, etc. Diseases, loss of wealth, and all the loss of near and dears, and all that. There are innumerable causes of sorrow other than Janma, Mrityu, Jara, where it is at the peak. Vimukta, having totally got freed, and when Jivan, you have to add that, while living right now here, Amrutam Ashnute, experiences himself to be limitless Ananda Sarupa, ever existent in nature. In other words, he gets moksha. This is whose statement? Krishna's statement. Some people, strangely, the latest version, say that freedom from birth and death is not the moksha. They have not dilated what is moksha, but is not moksha. They may please refer to this phrase from Krishna itself. This shows even what is the nature of moksha, not aparoksha. Indirectly, paroksha also is not clear to these people. Or they want to put forth something else which they have got in their mind. Anyway, freedom from this Janma Marana Rupa Samsara. Would you like to have it? When a child is born, great festivity. Someone dies, sorrow. Would you like to have it? You others may celebrate, but not the child. That's why it cries. And childhood is a state of total dependence, feeding onwards, cleaning the body onwards, have to be looked after by mother or whoever helps her. So he gets freed from this samsara. Let us see the Bhasya. Read Gunan Etan.
गुणान एतान यथोक्तान अतीत्य जीवन एव अतिक्रम्य मायोपाधिभूतान त्रीन देहि देह समुद्भवान देहोत्पत्ति बीज भूतान जन्म मृत्यु जरा दुःखैः जन्म च मृत्युश्च जरा च दुःखानि च तैः जीवन एव विमुक्तः सन् विद्वान् अमृतम् अश्नुते.
Etan Gunan. These gunas, Sattva Guna, Rajo Guna, Tamo Guna, in terms of their effects, either the body, etc. level, or in terms of Sukha, Dukkha, Moha, etc. experiences. Bhashyakara is not explaining here. Yathoktan. I already described you, as we have seen, as described so far. These three gunas, who this Dehi, Jiva, Atitya, Atitya, having got over them, is having got rid of the adhyasa, the erroneous notion of them to be our nature. When Jivaneva important, not after death. Moksha is not post-mortem. It is here, of course. Finale is in the Videha Mukti after the Prarabdha. But it is the discovery that I am free from samsara right now here. Atikramya, having got over it. And what are these gunas? Mayopadi bhuta. They are nothing but Maya itself is Upadhi. Upadhi in the sense mark, sign, characterized by the Maya in terms of Upadhis. And you say the Upadhi means they truly do not constitute the features of Atma, but because of error appear to be so. So Maya Upadhi Bhuta. See, Maya is nothing but ignorance, which is, of course, ignorance of our Swarupa, which is universally experienced. If someone comes and tells a common man, Arey, you are limitless happiness. Why do you run after the Vishayas? If he has a Shraddha, etc., what will say? Sir, I don't know. Look, moment by moment I am suffering. How do you say that I am limitless happy? What comes? Ignorance. In sleep, what do you experience? Ignorance. That ignorance itself is at the level of totality is called Maya Tattva. It is only a postulate, a stop-gap arrangement to explain how this Brahman, which is changeless, which has no birth, which has no death, appears to be Jagat, which involves change, modification. A rope can never become a snake. And yet, a rope appears as a snake. We bring the factor ignorance. Same is here. Rope has never become the snake. But until The deluded person is made to discover, my dear, this is not a snake. He brings the flashlight. This is the rope. Till then, only to make him discover, you temporarily take for granted that snake there, which a deluded person is seen and is frightened. Likewise, until Jiva discovers the Swarupa Paramananda, we take for granted this ignorance. At the same time, ignorance is not real. Real in the sense, it is not an entity which can all the time be there. It gets ended in the wake of knowledge. Therefore, we say it is mithya. Truly not there, but appears to be there. Know the meaning of mithya. If ignorance cannot be ended, it is satya. It is all the time there, which is not the case. Chaitanya, you cannot end at all. Was, is, and shall ever be nitya. Anything that doesn't fit in this category is only a seeming appearance, a seeming experience, truly not there. Vedanta calls it false mithya. People not knowing this meaning, they accuse the word Maya, etc. Especially they accuse Shankaracharya. He started. He didn't start this. This all is replete in the Upanishad. But these people have never cared to investigate in it. So therefore he says, Maya Upadhi Bhutan, three guna, Dehi, Jiva. And what is gunas? Deha Samudbhava. Those which are the causes of this embodiment. Means Dehotpatti Bija Bhuta, which are in the form of seed, as it were, for the birth of Deha embodiment. Having crossed over this, what he discovers and what he gains, Janma Mrityu Jara Dukkhaihi. From all this, Janma cha Mrityuscha Jara cha Dukkhani. From birth, from death, from old age, and from sorrows. Jivan eva vimukta. Even while living, having got freed from it. Because in and through these experiences of Sukha Dukkha, he is able to strike at, or he is able to focus his attention on the Chaitanya to the exclusion of these gunas and the effects of gunas. Of course, for which lot of effort is necessary as guided by Vedanta Shastra. So therefore, yes. Jivan eva vimukta. While living only he is able to do that. And thus a Vidwan, Jnani, Amrutaha Ashnute. Gains, Ashnute, Prapnoti. Amruta means immortality, moksha. Means, continue, evam.
एवं मद्भावम अधिगच्छति इत्यर्थः.
Thus, he gains my Swarupa. Paramatma Swarupa. He gains. Not that he was not Paramatma. He was Paramatma Sarupa, but somehow misunderstood oneself as someone else. In Vedanta, one story is told. A king was attacked by the enemy. Now the heir is there, who Rajaputra, but he was a child. The nurse, Aya, the Dasi, who was taking care of her, because queen, etc., were killed. So she took that prince as a child and ran away in the forest. Something happened, unfortunately, that Dasi she died. And the child was brought up by tribal people from the childhood. And he grew into a tribal man. But few knew this, that this Dasi had rescued. So after a few years, they were in search of this thing. And from the features, they could make out this youngster is the prince. And they verified it. Now, who is he? Na kirataha, not a hunter. He is the king. But didn't know. No, he is made to discover it. Like that. He was the king, prince, being the prince, he was the king, but he didn't know. Now we discover. Like that. Jiva, even when suffers the most agonizing samsara, he is Paramatma Sarupa only. How come? Just when you are relaxed, Sunday afternoon, acha lunch khaya, still not time to take a siesta, you are reclining on your easy chair. At that time, suppose you somehow remember an incident in your life which was most agonizing one. By thinking of that, you shudder. Now, take stock of this, dissect, analyze. This most shocking experience is presented to me, the Jiva, in terms of gunas. Gunas means what here? Antakarana vrittis. And therefore what? I am very sorrowful because I identify the vritti. If I focus my attention on the Chaitanya, in my presence, this most agonizing vritti has come. It has come, it will go. I am Chaitanya unscathed. Even in that state of most agonizing sorrow, me, Chaitanya, is Paramatma Swarupa only. Vedanta is such inquiry. These things can be used in meditation. You see the falsity, mithyatva of both vrittis gives you joy and sorrow. And extricate yourself from that and focus your attention on Chaitanya Sarupa I. That is all the time Paramatma Sarupa. This erroneous identification makes it appear as samsari jiva. So therefore, madbhavam adhigacchati. He gains my swarupa ityam. He was all the time, due to ignorance, disowned. Now he is owning up his swarupa. Now Arjuna got an occasion to ask questions, as he did in chapter 2 in the context of Sita Prajna, chapter 12 in the context of Bhakta, here in the context of Gunatita. Read Bhasya, Jivan Eva.
जीवन एव गुणान् अतीत्य अमृतमश्नुते इति प्रश्नबीजं प्रतिलभ्य अर्जुन उवाच कैर्लिङ्गैः इति।
Jivan eva gunanatitya. Bhagavan said, while living he gets freed from gunas. Means he is freed from gunas while living in, he is a gunatitaha. Not after death. Right now here. Amrutam ashnuti. Gains the immortality, means moksha. Iti prashna bijam pratilabh. I've got an occasion to ask a question. Arjuna uvacha asked. Kaihi iti. In the stanza beginning from Kaihi iti. Read 21.
कैर्लिङ्गैस्त्रीन् गुणानेतान् अतीतो भवति प्रभो किमाचारः कथं चैतान् त्रीन् गुणानतिवर्तते।
Prabhu, O Bhagavan, O Master, etan trin gunan atita and vidwan kaihi lingaihi and upalakshita continue bhavati. And saha kimacharaha bhavati. Etan trin guna cha katham ativartati. Etan trin guna cha katham ativartati. Prabhu, Prabhu, Master, Overlord. It can be taken also this way. Prakarshena bhavati asma. From whom, with all these glories and splendor, the Jagat is born. O Prabhu, Master. Etan. These three guna. These three guna, sattva guna, raja guna, in terms of their effects also. Atitaha vidwan. One who has become independent of these three gunas and their effects, who is not affected by them. Such vidwan. Kaihi lingaihi upalakshita bhavati. By what features is he characterized? Kaihi lingaihi. By which linga, marks, signs? By what marks, signs is he characterized? Himachara bhavati. What is his conduct? Because he is living. What is his conduct? Again, what are the means, sadhanas? By he could get rid of this, he could get past these three gunas. Etan trin guna katham cha ativartate. How does he cross over these three gunas? Three questions are asked. What are the characteristic features of a gunatita? What is his conduct in life? What are the means by which he gains this? Bhashyakara, in the next verse Bhashya, he condenses these three questions into two questions. He adds achara in the lakshana only. Conduct can be features of the this thing. So, what are the features of Jivan Mukta? Not Jivan Mukta, of course, Jivan Mukta, but referred to here as Gunatita. And what is his conduct? There only it is. Then, what are the means? Take Bhashya.
कैहि लिंगैहि चिह्नैहि त्रीन् एतान् व्याख्यातान् गुणान् अतीतः अतिक्रान्तः भवति प्रभो.
Prabhu. See, etan vyakhyatan guna. The one who has atitaha, crossed over, independent of, who has got rid of the identification with these gunas and the refer. Kai lingai chinnai atikranta bhavati. What are his linga? Linga means chinna, a mark. So, by what the atikranta bhavati? Is by what mark this person can be identified. You should know this word linga. Because nowadays in politics, as for Shiva Linga, they criticize anything and everything. No willingness to find out what it is all about. Of course, it is all politics. Shiva Linga is elliptoid. And elliptoid has no beginning and no end like a circle. Circle has no beginning, no end. So also, this elliptoid, this thing is. That shows is a chinna for the Chaitanya Tattva, the all-pervasive Tattva, which cannot be described by anything whatsoever, which has no beginning, which has no end at all. And symbolically, there the creation is shown. What is it? The linga has got a pitha. Pitha is what? That base on which the linga is placed. That base pitha represents the Prakriti Tattva. So, Purusha Prakriti Chaitanya and Prakriti Maya gives rise to creation. If you are careful in your observation, in ancient Shiva temples, there is no idol separate of Parvati, because this linga with the Pita shows it. That Pita is Prakriti Tattva, what is that? Parvati Tattva, whereas Purusha Shiva Tattva is what? You have also come to, you also know Ardhanari Nateshwaraha. Shiva, one side lady, other side man. Or the so-called great modern journalist, they may say that it is a biological absurdity. It is a symbol, it is a linga, that Jagat is Purusha Prakriti Tattva. In a way, in Jagat, what we find is only Prakriti Tattva only. Female principle only. Male principle, Purusha, Chaitanya Tattva is invisible. Someone said it is like this. See, we have got division, no? Male and female. So that one Mahatma said, this male, no, are only female only in the disguise of male. Like in olden days, not nowadays, with all movie and most modern, all this nonsense. In olden days, in a drama or a movie, especially dramas, movies have come after, where it is enacted in the, say, women's college or girls' school. The male character is nothing but a girl or a woman only, but dressed as a male. Suppose in boys' college or this thing, some drama is there. The female character is nothing but who? Male only. Like that. Here, or we make this division of male and female. All the so-called males are nothing but female Prakriti Tattva only. Maya Tattva only. But Purusha Tattva is the basis of all this. So anyway, so therefore Linga, simple mark, Chinna. So that the Shiva Linga is that way. See, problem is we know not our own Shastras. That is why others are trying to prove that we are absurd people, etc. And we swallow also. Not correct. See, our Shastra is based on Vedas. Veda is the highest body of knowledge to know the entities which are beyond the purview of human intellect, which are beyond the range of pramanas, means of knowledge, like perception, inference, illustration, etc. Vedas are not scientific. Some people try to make an attempt that to present Veda scientific. They don't know what science is. Entire science is based on perception. Its field is perceptual world. As far as Veda is concerned, that which is beyond the realm of perceptual world, where perception has no axis, That is what the role of Vedas is. Science is necessary. That is why in Mundakomashan we have got two types of vidyas. Aparavidya, Paravidya. Paravidya is Brahma Vidya. And rest all branches of knowledge, including Karma Kanda of Vedas, including Jnana, not Jnana, Upasana Kanda of Vedas, comes under Aparavidya. Aparavidya is the means that leads to Paravidya. These two are like the wings of a bird. A bird cannot fly with one wing. Aparavidya gives the prosperity, etc. A mature person who, in spite of the best of that he could enjoy in the world, finds something is lacking. This is not all. Is there a way out? Aparavidya comes in. No, not Paravidya comes in picture. So we are not against the materialistic science. See, that is why India was a center of learning, big universities, wherein the subject taught were all the subject of practical utility. A graduate who comes out of that is able to stand on his one's own feet, not go with a begging bowl of degree with asking for jobs. Why did India suffer foreign invasion if it were not prosperous? They looted the country. Of course, other reason is there. In spite of best of it, unfortunately, we lacked unity. Even today, the politicians are not taking into account this. Unity is very important. Because in spite of best of the accomplishment, because we didn't have the unity, others overpowered us. So therefore, this highest knowledge, other things also are catered to because it is necessary for life. And a mature person only can take to Vedanta. Not a person who is what? Unsuccessful in life. Vedanta is not meant for those people. So Kailingaihi Bhavati, Upalakshita Bhavati is indicated or understood or marked or characterized. By what marks Gunatita is characterized? Himacharaha. What is his conduct in life? How does he conduct? And etan trin guna katham cha ativartati. How does he cross over these three gunas? Read Bhasya Kaihi Lingaihi.
कैहि लिंगैहि चिह्नैहि त्रीन् एतान् व्याख्यातान् गुणान् अतीतः अतिक्रान्तः भवति प्रभो.
Prabhu, O Bhagavan, Kaihi Lingaihi Chinnai. By what marks? Three Netan Guna. What are those gunas? Vyakhyatan. Already explained. Achita Bhavati. Achita Atikranta. Becomes independent of them. Prabhu. Further, Kimachara. Read.
किमाचारः कहा अस्य आचारः इति किमाचारः.
Kaha Asya Achara. Achara means Acharanam. Conduct. Also, it includes his way of thinking. Manas Sanchara Prakaraha. Acharanam conduct in life, also attitudes and views in the mind. So what are these? Not only that, continue Katham.
कथं केन च प्रकारेण एतान् त्रीन् गुणान् अतिवर्तते
केन च प्रकारेण, केन च sadhana prakarena, by what means, by what mode or way or manner, these three gunas, ativartate, overcomes, overpowers, goes beyond them, becomes independent of them, being not affected by these gunas. So this way, linga, achara, and sadhana, these three are asked by O Arjuna. Bhagwan replies, read Bhasya.
गुणातीतस्य लक्षणं गुणातीतत्वोपायञ्च अर्जुनेन पृष्टः अस्मिन् श्लोके प्रश्नद्वयार्थं प्रतिवचनं श्रीभगवान् उवाच
Bhashyakara reduces the three questions to two questions. What is he says? What is asked by Arjuna is Gunatitasya Lakshanam, characteristic feature of a Gunatita, which includes Achara. Then Gunatitatva Upayamcha, the means by which one can transcend, overcome the gunas. Prishtaha, the who, Bhagavan, was asked so. Then what happens? Prishtaha Bhagavan. Gunatitvacha Arjuna Prishtaha Bhagavan. Asmin shloke. In this shloka, Prashna Dvayartham Prativachanam Uvacha. Bhagavan gives the reply to the two questions asked by Arjuna. Continue. Yattavat.
यत्तावत् कैः लिङ्गैः युक्तः गुणातीतः भवति इति तत् शृणु प्रकाशञ्च इति
Yattavat, to begin with. First of all, Tavat, first of all, to begin with. What is that? Kaihi lingaihi yuktaha gunatita bhavati. Gunatita is endowed with what features? That's Shunuswa. Means Bhagavan is going to reply the means afterwards. First he takes into account replying the features of a Gunatita. Bhavati, that's Shunuswa. Alternatively, Shunu also is there. That listen how Prakasham cha, etc. The verse 22 will see.
स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्तां न्याय्येन मार्गेण महीं महिषाः गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यं लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु काले वर्षतु पर्जन्यः पृथिवी सस्यशालिनी देशोऽयं क्षोभरहितः ब्राह्मणाः सन्तु निर्भयाः ॐ सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतङ्गमय ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ओम. श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः. हरिः ओम.